friends, denizens of the internet. Hello, welcome back to another episode of World of Warcraft. And today we're jumping into World of Warcraft, the War Within, the newest expansion that just came out. And I wanted to do a small series about some of the, or rather, one of the cool things that came out with this new expansion of World of Warcraft, which is the Delves, which is basically a dungeon that you can do with 1 to 5 people. And if there's one thing I really enjoy in video games, it's single player dungeons. I think that's what drew me to original Diablo so heavily when I was younger. But suffice to say, there's a whole bunch of them, and yeah, we're not going to do all of them, and we're not going to do all of them at like their highest difficulty or their lowest difficulty. Today we're going to be doing a low level one on a level 71 warrior I have called Castriticron, which I stole from a Deathclock song. And we're going to be doing it at tier 3, and as you can see, there's tier 1 through 11. These are all varying difficulties. And the way these delves work is that they're there's several different versions of the same delve, and once you go in one, it might be different than what you did last time, as opposed to you know, just doing the same old thing over and over again. Like this one, we're going to be getting a flamethrower torch to we'll burn away these webs. This is long story short. In these single player dungeons, we get a companion AI to help us out, Bran Bronzebeard, and as you can see, we have Bran Bronzebeard is going to be healing for us so we don't die. And he's got his own levels and little trinkets and things he can do, and he'll shoot stuff as well as we're going through here. But mostly we're going to be doing the damage, and Bran will be keeping us alive. Bran. I always say it the wrong way. I don't know why. It's one of those things when I have friends make characters for Dungeons and Dragons campaigns that I'm running. I always come up with like a short name for them, but I always end up saying it the wrong way for some reason. But suffice to say, I am a sucker for single-player dungeon crawls, and now obviously World of Warcraft is an MMORPG, and single players is not really its bread and butter, but I think that they've made a lot more impact this expansion with having single-player content, so I kind of wanted to showcase that a little bit. The combat's still, you know, standard World of Warcraft fare, and it can be extremely hard to see what's going on sometimes. But that's half the fun. I did turn on some of the accessibility options recently. You can see there's a little circle at my feet here, just because when everything's going on, it can be really hard to see what's happening and where your character is amidst all the carnage. And there's another one I could turn on where like the character will have a yellow outline too, but let's not get too old man about it. Let's be like middle-aged old man about it. Just chop the ever-loving crap out of these Nerubians, which is, for lack of a better term, kind of bug spider people from beneath the surface of the planet. I'm sure there's far more important lore to it than that, but I'm not a huge lore buff when it comes to World of Warcraft. I do like some of the lore, and I do try and, you know, keep it in the back of my mind when I'm reading quests or things of that nature. But honestly, the last few years, the lore has gotten so ridiculous that it's hard to keep up with anymore. But to be fair, I guess that's what happens when you're, I want to say the game is hitting its 20th anniversary this week coming up. So I guess that'll happen when you've been around for 20 years. You're, you know, imagine writing a book, and every year you just make more of the same book, and you just keep doing that over and over and over for 2 decades. Things are going to get a little nuts. That's why I haven't read any of the new Drizzt Do'Urden saga books from R.A. Salvatore, because I've read so many of those books, and he just keeps making them, and it's like, man, I don't have enough money for all these books. Sorry to rant about Drizzt Do'Urden, but you know, it's one of those things that, again, it's kind of so huge. I just like to keep it in the back of my mind at all times. This is the part where we're swarmed by Nerubians, isn't it? Ah, the quests are getting self-aware.
Beware the shadows.
Bugs. Spin into them. Spin to win. You know, let's take the bars off, so it's a little easier to see what I'm chopping at here. More bugs. Kill them all. I'd say kill it with fire, but I don't have any fire. Wait, no, I do have fire. Ha ha! No, it's already dead. I say there's a couple flying. We have to huck an axe at here. Come on. There you go. And I like the this particular brand of warrior because you get to dual wield two-handed weapons, which is always hilarious. A lot of games don't go that route with straight up melee fighters in combat, but I do appreciate it when they do. Come on, who wants it? Step right up, step right up. Yeah, I was considering kicking off the Silent Hill 2 remake this week, but I have some reservations about whether or not my computer could actually run that and record it simultaneously, because we're in the era of no loading screens anymore. What I noticed playing through the Silent Hill 2 remake, and I haven't finished it yet, but playing through it, it seems like there's a lot of stuttering when you get close to like zone transitions, and again, there's no screens to tell you when you're there, so basically you run up a flight of steps and the game kind of chugs just a little bit. So I'm just worried that that's going to be exacerbated when we go to record that. Not so much that we'll never do it, but I wanted to do this just because I'd been thinking about doing a little small session of the Delves when the expansion came out, like a couple months ago. So I figured we'll do a couple episodes of this, and then we'll get to the good stuff. Don't worry, the good stuff's not going anywhere. As I mentioned, I want to say at the end of my Max Payne playthrough yesterday that I also picked up Alan Wake 2. We're going to be looking at that at some point too. Fans of the channel will know that Alan Wake was one of the original games that I did playthroughs for. The original, of course, is The Evil Within, and boy, I butchered that terribly in some spots. Sometimes I go back and I throw it on just to see, how much I've kind of progressed in my Let's Play style, and man, the Evil Within Let's Play I did is hard to watch sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. But the Alan Wake, I want to say, was the third day of making videos for this channel is when I started doing Alan Wake for the Halloween double feature, where I was running daily videos, five videos a week for 2 series at the same time, and man, that was rough. Fantastic. Well, fiery barrier absorbing damage. Yes, good. Treasure, resonance crystals, of course. In addition to speaking about new additions to the list of games that I'd like to play on the channel that I've acquired recently, I've also picked up a new game for our 4-player friends co-op session I usually do around Halloween. We usually do Phasmophobia. We might be giving Demonologist a try this year. We might still do Phasmophobia just for funsies, but I want to branch out, mostly just because, and this isn't a knock on my friends, but we really don't know what we're doing with Phasmophobia, and our friend that was with us last year that did know what he was doing will probably not be around. So I figure if we're going to do something we don't know what we're doing, maybe we should do something new, so it's not blatantly obvious that we're terrible at knowing what we're doing. Does that make any sense? I hope so. Burning up the waves.
Get out of the way!
Oh, you get out of the way, Bran. I don't want to get out of the way. I'm in it to win it. Now, even though we're doing like a higher than standard difficulty, and this is the character I'm playing as is a low level. This character had a lot of gear from the previous expansion when the end of the campaign, or the end of the expansion came around of the last expansion, and there was a bunch of ways to get catch-up gear to make you strong right before the expansion ended. I kind of stacked him up. He's not so much stacked as the rest of them. You can see he's wearing a lot of sub 500 gear. And like if you start in this new expansion, you're not going to have gear anywhere near this nice. So I'm kind of cheating here, but not really. I mean, it's an MMORPG. You can't really cheat without the risk of getting permabanned in something. And you don't want to get permabanned from a game that you spend money on. You know, maybe don't do that. But it's kind of like in the original, and again referencing original Diablo, when I used to play original Diablo, it would get to the point where, you know, I would get stuck and wouldn't be strong enough to progress further. And the cool thing about original Diablo is that you could simply restart the game with your leveled up guy at the very beginning and basically just kind of crush it for a few floors. And actually, I really enjoyed doing that. There's nothing more I like doing than going back to, like, starting a fresh game with a higher level guy. That was one of the things you had to do in the original Baldur's Gate games. Not 3, of course. I mean, you probably do that in 3, but in the original Baldur's Gate, you would get to a point where, you know, you're facing some serious combat difficulty. And yeah, you can, you know, get good as the elite gamer crowd likes to say, but it was simply easier to just restart the game with your high level guy and just gain a couple more levels before you got stuck again. Not to mention you'd have all your super cool magic items that made you overpowered in certain ways. You go to a bunch of you know, kobolds and you just one-shot them and tear through them like paper. It's a lot of fun. Kind of like this warrior. The warrior kind of tears through these guys pretty easily. But again, he's that overgeared. And if you're wondering, like, oh man, how long is this thing? It's like, actually, we're right at the end coming up here. A couple of small objectives, kill some guys, and then there's a boss at the end. Our boss is Web General Abenar? Okay. Let's pop some cooldowns on this guy. Let's go bam, bam, and whoop. And just chop that wood. Now this guy, some of the train car, well, I don't know if we'll actually get to do it. We're kicking the crap out of. Oh, here we go. Where's it coming from? Oh, oh. Not today. No, no, no. Man, you are out there. All right. Yeah, I love these because they're just little bite-sized dungeons that you can do by yourself. Now, you can obviously, you know, queue with other people and do the regular dungeons this game has. But if I'm going to be speaking frankly about it, the grouping of people that have been doing the random dungeon queues this expansion are, I don't know, it's kind of a harsh scene, this expansion. And that's kind of been the tail of the tape for World of Warcraft the last couple expansions. Is just like anything with people online, you know, you get your portion of the player base that's just toxic people looking to be angry and just literally talk smack on anyone and everyone who will listen to them. Oh, we get plate waste. I don't think I can use that though. That's undergeared. Yep. So either way, that is. We'll ride this little helicopter dude back to the entrance here. That is a little peek into the very first delve in the expansion. So, that being said, that's about all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed the video today, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and get subscribed. Let me know down in the comment section below if you want to see more of this. If you want to see higher level delves, if you hate World of Warcraft and you never want to see it again, All these are good things to put down in the comments below. So, that being said, thanks for watching. And as usual, I'll catch you all on the flip side.